Back at it, YouTube, real quick. Gonna be a short video. It's kind of late here where I'm at. Pretty sure it's about almost 12 o'clock. As you can see, I kind of move stuff around, move stuff out the way. Got some stuff kind of rearranged. Uh, Again, those are internals. That's the transmission. Everything else is pretty much the same here. But I did take off the hood and just kind of overlooking things, what I need, what's going to come out. For instance, uh, this is coming out. This shroud's coming out, of course. I think I want to redo that tank over there. Not decided if I wanted to clean the airbox up yet. Pretty sure I am, though. It's pretty dirty under here. But I'm a one-man show at this point. So once I get the motor and trans taken out, which is why I took the hood off, I'm going to degrease everything down here and kind of go in a more detailed video on how to take stuff out and kind of walking your way around the car and what you need and what you don't need. Uh, Again, a lot of exploring and a lot of documenting things because this will be my first rodeo and all this kind of stuff. So as you can see, I got wires everywhere. Um, Not really sure how this is going to work, but we're going to figure it out, man. Again, I got a lot of motivation from a couple guys on Instagram, YouTube, also update, right? I just ordered front and rear calipers and rotors, Brembo, off of a 2014 uh, 1LE Camaro. So should be pretty fun. I'm pretty sure I'm going to shout out to Mr. Get In There, order the bracket to make everything fit from him. I'm going to work on getting that rear end mounted pretty soon. And then I also need to get this whole shebang flipped so the hood's that way, or the front of the car's that way, excuse me, and kind of get this ball rolling. Unfortunately, I do not have a engine hoist or a cherry picker to get this bad boy out. I've asked a couple people who are somewhat close to me, and definitely car fanatics just like me. What's the best way to do this? Not the cheapest, but definitely the best and most time conservative. What I've come up with is taking the motor and trans together versus separating the two. With that being said, I have to take these off the motor mounts, or I might just leave the motor mounts connected to the motor. And since I'm changing them out anyway, pull all of that up. I have to drop the drive shaft. I have to take down the cross member and maybe even drop somewhat of the rear end. So as you can tell, I don't have much space. So it's not going to be anything that happens overnight for sure. But I'm definitely going to start piecing away at this thing. But kind of most of this video is about a couple updates. Again, I told you about one, the brakes, which I'm very hyped about. And I've had it already for a while, but those of you are wondering, focus. It's not gonna do it. Oh, it's trash. There it is. All right. That's where I get the name from. Blew my mind. Project Blew My Mind is the actual color code that I'm going with, and I'll probably open it up in another video. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with this. Not too much of an update, but I did order some more stuff. Last but not least, I ordered the elbows from CX Racing, which I don't say elbows. Basically, that's an elbow and that's an elbow. People are probably asking or worried about why the motor is sitting on the ground. Lesson learned. Just kind of, I'll say rushing, I guess. Just take your time. Do it right the first time. Mistakes are bound to happen. I was fortunate that I didn't get hurt, no one else got hurt, but the motor actually fell off the stand. Um, and I simply think it was because one, there was too much weight, and then two, uh, the threads of the bolts that I had in the back of the motor were not threaded enough. All right, so as soon as I bolted, well, attempted to bolt one turbo up, the weight of this the motor alone with the turbos just collapsed. So stand sitting over there. Um, Again, it's rated to about 1,000 or so uh, pounds, but I'm sure the block itself is about 500 or 600. Uh, with everything on it, I'm pretty sure it was close to 1,000, if not more than 1,000. But yeah, again, I just recently bought the CX Racing 3-inch elbows with the wastegate, mm, I guess, port welded on. Makes it a little easier. That way, all I have to do is mount my wastegates here and be done. All right. Now, a couple issues that I've run into that I knew were going to be a problem, which I thought I had solved, but looking at it again, may have to reconsider some things. Um, my intake clears. I'm cool there. But you can tell, and I told Jake this. Jake, shout out to you, man. I haven't found the kit just yet, but I'm pretty sure he's probably right. I'm going to either have to change out, uh, maybe not accessories, but definitely brackets for where all this stuff fits. So alternator, water pump, idle tensioners, power steering, AC will go down there, and then then start over in the back. But first issue that I have to address is my power steering pump. Now, as you know, this is an exhaust. I'm planning on wrapping it, at least from here on back on both sides. Because this stuff gets hot, right? It gets hot. The last thing you want to do is just get hot and start melting shit like this and coil packs and shit like that. So I'm probably going to wrap it to kind of keep some of that heat down. But I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to change out these brackets as well. Second issue I ran into is going to be coil packs. So I can keep these coil packs, but what I've seen a lot of builders do, especially when it comes to one, look, and then two, an issue like I have here, just relocate them. So technically, I would just take this bracket off with the coil packs and either put them in the back, so like on the firewall or on the wheel wells on both sides, and then just extend my wires from wherever I put them. I don't remember his name, but he has a twin turbo red father and son build on Instagram. He told me he put them actually under the dash through the firewall. So again, I got a lot of things up in the air with relocating that and what I'm gonna do about the headers. Pretty sure I'm almost. I'm not gonna say stuck like I could go with a different set of headers, but really not trying to spend that much money on headers or much more money on headers. I'm really digging the placement of these turbos, though. I really am. Keep in mind, I've never done this before. I'm just kind of mocking stuff up and just seeing how things look. And then real work won't start until I get them off in the car. So, to my knowledge, I have to tap into um, the front cover for oil. That will go. Don't let me lie. So if I'm getting this wrong, don't criticize me and put me on the cross. But one of these ports, either this one or maybe this one, oil feed port, um, to dump the oil into the turbo because that's what it needs to keep it lubricated so it don't burn up. But yeah, again, I like it how it's kind of offset a little bit. This one's a little higher than this one. They're the same size turbo, so not really worried about one being bigger than the other one, and this one getting this much power, and this one getting a little bit less than that. But my main concern was clearing the hood. All right, that's a stock hood over there. I've asked a couple guys with G bodies on what hood they're running or what size hood needs to clear for the high rise intake. Uh, Most of the guys are running 3 inches, 4 inches, even five on some. I don't want to get that crazy, but I also want to kind of keep it discreet. And from what I was told, depending on placement of my engine mounts and if I go up or down, back or forth, I should be able to run a 2 inch cowl hood, no problem. All right, so probably gonna do that. Again, as I'm learning, wastegate will go here, and then exhaust will go down, and then on these ends, we'll basically run my exhaust. If I'm doing that right, I'm pretty sure. Oh, maybe these go to the intercooler. Again, I'm not really sure. All I know is I got a lot of shit going on in the front here, and I have an intercooler, an inner radiator, and then a fan. Again, it's still kind of working out the kinks. But with that being said, I'm going to sell this motor and this transmission. I'm not sure if this is a 305 or 350. I have to, once I get it out, I can be able to look at it and see the cast numbers and be able to tell it better. I'm almost positive the guy that sold it to me told me it was a 700R trans in it. And even if whoever wants the written as well, I might come up with a package deal or uh, I really don't want to separate it once I get it out of here. I want it gone pretty quick because I don't have the space to kind of keep it around. So if you're interested, by all means, hopefully you're local, and if not, we can kind of arrange some stuff. If I know some people in your area, we can get some stuff kind of figured out and get it to you and shipped and all that kind of stuff. But pretty sure my next video, if they come in time, I had to break it up because shipping was kind of expensive on my rotors and calipers. Uh, will be the install of the again Brembo rotors and calipers off a Camaro 2014 uh, 1LE. All right, so if you don't know, I need 2000 to 2004, I think he said, uh, Chevy Trailblazer, two-wheel drive, front spindles, and it comes with a little bracket that allows me to mount the caliper to the spindle, and then the rotor slides on the hub. I need new hubs, and then brake lines, and then I should be able to run it. Um, Other thing is I need pipe work fabbed up for this thing, which is the most expensive part of this. One, because it's TIG weld, excuse me, which again, I don't do it. I've played around with some spot welding, but I will not sit here and lie to you in the world saying that I'm a welder. Again, I've played and messed around a few, but uh, nah, I'm just not even gonna try it. I met a buddy actually who sold me the rear cover. Uh, I have the rear cover now. It's not on yet because I don't have the hardware for it, but I have it. He stays maybe 10 minutes from me and told me he'll do all my welding at my house. So a good plug on that. But he recommended that I get the motor with the turbos mounted in the car first. So that's kind of why I mounted it now, which I'm pretty sure I'm going to take most of this stuff off. Well, maybe just the turbos to see what actually fits where, and then I'll mount the turbos when I get back in the car. Because that's going to tell me what I need to take out and what I need to keep in, what has to be cut and fabricated, and so forth and so forth. Um, Also, I guess shout out to Antoine Hawthorne yet again and old Clyde, kind of leading the way for all us G bodies out here. Well, me anyway. I can't speak for anybody else. But uh, this is still being filmed, so don't worry about that. But I'm still undecided if I want to um, mount my exhaust port here or further down, or run it throughout the car and kind of keep it somewhat as a sleeper. Um, which Everybody who knows kind of more in detail what my build is going to look like, knowing this car will not look like a sleeper, but I'm talking about as far as being twin turboed. Really don't care if it's known that I have turbos. I would just rather like it how I like it, which I love the way Antoine had that kind of beveled end. It looked kind of like, let's see, like a teardrop almost. So yeah, really digging that. Also see some people kind of put it up here kind of high or maybe kind of low here. Again, still really undecided because I'm sure uh, we'll have, as you can kind of tell. So technically, let's see if I can do this right. It'll look somewhat like that in the car. So that'll be my driver's side, and this will be my passenger side. So I'm almost positive that the driver's turbo will be somewhat in here. Sorry for being dark, but it'll be somewhere in here, which also means that battery has to be relocated. And this is a fine point in kind of telling, hey, what to expect and how none of this is kind of like prefabbed out. Everything that has to be done from this point on is completely fabricated or tweaked, pushed, pulled, cut out, whatever to make this thing fit. Again, this kind of stuff was not meant for these cars. And fun tip I found out on CX Racing, most of their uh, products, I guess, or whatever all the stuff that they sell on there, if you read the little fine line at the bottom, it says that all the products that they sell is meant for racing and it's not meant for street legal use, right? Which I thought was pretty funny because most of the stuff that they sell, it's turbos and aftermarket intercoolers and so forth and so forth. So I just thought that would be kind of funny. But again, turbo here, turbo there, and I'm not even sure if I'll keep it this way. Again, it just kind of mounted to see how it would look. I may end up turning it straight down and wastegates going that way. May even, I don't know, tilt it up a little bit and we'll see. Again, I'm not worried about clearance on this stuff because the biggest thing, I want this stuff to fit and I can always relocate anything here. Um, which again leads me to the bigger question is fuel pump, whether it's going to be external or internal, um, and just a lot of kind of tedious stuff that now is going to start coming into effect. I've also been doing some research on injectors, fuel management system. I'm still going to run that T56, so I got to get a bell housing, I got to get a monster clutch, probably stage 3, somewhat up in there. I have to get I think that's it. And I got to get the pedals from Sick Money, 6 Speed Money, something like that. He has a whole kit with the pedals, with the slave cylinder and a master clutch cylinder. Uh, that I already indicate it's like $300 online. So I'll probably end up doing that. Um, but yeah, it's starting to actually come together, which is probably the most satisfying. But honestly, just ready to get the fuck over with at this point. Again, I got a long way to go, man. Uh, I'm gonna have some E85 injectors that I got from the guy that sold me the rear plate or the rear cover, and I am entertaining the E85 talk. It's just cheaper, but I did hear kind of the cons that is injectors need cleaning more often, um, and I don't know how to do that, so it'll be one more thing that I have to look out for to kind of take special care of. Um, Also, I'm going to start powder coating some of this stuff. Not gonna jump the gun just yet because I haven't decided if I'm gonna paint or powder coat, one, the calipers, two, this stuff on here. Granted, I know I can paint. I've been painting for years, but I want it to last. So I know that some of the stuff needs to be high temp, and so it doesn't, burn up or change colors or, you know, fade away and anything like that. So I know for a fact I'm going to. I've had maybe be another video, maybe down the road. But I'm thinking powder coating the top and leaving the Holley EFI the silver color, and then leaving the base also silver. And then this will be blue, base will be silver. I'll powder coat the front cover as well, along with the block and probably the rear cover. Now, this valley cover, um, still contemplating it as well, because I'm gonna block these off because I don't need these anymore. I forget what they're called, but I don't need these anymore. Uh, or I might just get an aftermarket valley cover and call it good. But in another picture that I fell in love with, the guy actually had it chrome, and he had this chrome, this red, block red, and cover red. Again, I have yet to see any of this stuff done in person, so I'm kind of just winging it. And then my powder coat guy here, which has changed multiple times, um, he's kind of an older white guy, but he, I think, charging me a couple $100 to powder coat all that stuff. But I want to wait until I have picked out a color for sure, because the last thing I want to do is start powder coat some of this stuff, and then I'm like, shit, I really want this color. So I'll probably powder coat everything at once versus taking pieces here and there, which is probably the best and most cost effective. But again, rundown again. I want waistgates. I want them the same color. Uh, but I'm gonna powder coat the block, front cover for sure, rear cover for sure. Haven't made up my mind if I'm gonna do this, the top, or if I'm gonna do the actual intake itself, and the uh, the covers. Those are almost hands down gonna happen. Oh yeah, I'm also gonna powder coat these. Yeah, I'm gonna powder coat these bad boys. That way I got some color on this too. So it'll be either I'll just say color here, color on the wastegate, color here. Pretty sure I'm gonna just go with this because this is kind of easier. This is just a top, so it comes off. Color here, color on the covers, color on the front cover, and the block itself, and then maybe the rear cover. And then whatever color I decide on this stuff will be the same color as the calipers. And when they get here, right now they're scheduled to be here around, I think Buddy told me Monday. Yeah, I think Monday. They're coming from Florida. So once they get here, I'll unbox those bad boys and show y'all that. And then probably start working on getting the stuff for that as well. But what's to come, right? So uh, talked about the wastegates. Wastegates, man, I'm going tile 44 millimeter. Those bad boys are at least like 350 a piece. So we're talking about at least 700 in just wastegates. But this is where I'm getting to where not time crucial, but I can honestly wait on wastegates. Biggest thing that's coming next is one, find out what bracket kit I can use, what's going to be most effective. I still need to get main bearings, rod bearings, oil pan. I'm running a Holley 302-2 oil pan. And I think I'm gonna go with the black one, or maybe the cast one. I haven't decided yet, but definitely that oil pan. It looks great. Uh, Not really expensive, and I know it works. Then I have to work on getting motor mounts, which I'm still undecided. It's plenty of options out there for me, but I haven't decided. And then cross member. all that kind of shit. But before I get to all of that, again, biggest thing is getting the motor in the car, which means I have to do motor mounts first. Motor mounts first. I can sit the motor off in the car, see where everything fits. Well, let me back up. Before I even get to that point, I need to button this goddamn motor up at the bottom. So I need a cam, main bearings, rod bearings, oil pan. Those gonna be the next four on my hot list, right? Which we're talking with all of that. I think the oil pan's like 350. Cam, it's like another 360, 370 if I can get it by itself. But might as well get the cam kit from Brian Tooley Racing, which is like 660. Uh, yeah, I think I'm gonna go stage two, even though Brian Tooley, I guess one of his reps or whatever recommended that I went to stage one uh, via the turbos that I have, but I think I'm gonna probably push it to the limit and maybe go stage two. He told me with a stage one, I could definitely get my power goal, if not a little more. So I think I'm gonna go stage two, just to be safe on what I'm looking to do. Uh, so yeah, stage two, BTR, cam kit with springs, push rods, and cam, um, oil pan, main bearings, rod bearings, and I can put this motherfucker together. Uh, then once I put it together, I need ARP everything, which is another shit, almost $1,000 if I do ARP bolt on every nook and cranny on this thing. So yeah, it's a process, man. Definitely a process. Um, definitely don't want to skimp on a lot of this stuff that can make or break this bill. So I want to spend the time and the money where I need to. If I don't need to, if I can find a loophole or a little shortcut or cheat, I'll find it. I'll ask about it and see how safe it is. Just so everyone is aware, if I do kind of see myself kind of, going down this rabbit hole was too much for me, I do have a shop that's in Denver that actually is going to give me a quote tomorrow on just taking it there and finishing if I just, decide to tap out, which I don't see myself tapping out. My only issue is running out of time. Um, and I'll get to that later down the road. But I have a short lived time where I am, I should say. And I really want to get this car at least motor running and on its own power before I leave here. But if not, I can definitely take it to the next spot and finish it there for sure. But I have to start over with all my resources, um, which might not be a bad thing. But again, it's kind of an ace in my back pocket just because I need to use it. But yeah, that's really it. Things are looking good for the most part, man. So this weekend, I'm thinking I'm going to start wrenching on this bad boy here to see if I can get some of this stuff uh, either taken off or at least kind of put out the way. And well, first off, I need to turn it around, but probably call a couple friends over uh, to see if they can help me turn this thing around and maybe see how far I can get, and then uh, really just go from there. But the quicker I can get this motor trans out, the quicker I can put this one, well, quicker or the better motivation, I should say, will get me to get this motherfucker put together so I can put it in there. And once it goes in there, it's like a done deal. And then now all I have to worry about is um, putting this thing in primer down the road. But in due time, again, it's in a few about to be winter here, so it'll be a couple kind of easy breezy weekends. I can just kind of sit in here and kind of knock this thing out. Technically, to be done, putting her in bare metal, it's just this fender. I'm not even gonna waste time on the front nose. Uh, not going all the way down to bare metal because I'm pretty sure it's plastic. But I got to go over all my body work, and yeah. First off, I got to get this door fixed because it doesn't open. So that'll be another video. Pretty simple fix. Just haven't gotten around the time to open it yet. It's pretty it's a simple fix, but it's hard to get to the rod in the door. So gotta probably jimmy rig it and get it out of there. I'm also going to do the Ken Digit. They're not shaved door handles, but flush handles. I haven't made up my mind if I want to go chrome or the unfinished where I can paint those. So that'll be in the near future. Pretty sure I'm going to shave this key though. Almost positive. And just I got a lot of things in the work, man. But again, priorities are priorities. I'm not gonna break the bank trying to get all this stuff done and just end up broke at the end of the day. I want to take my time and I want to learn as much as I can, but I also want to share as much knowledge with the viewers as I can, man. So by all means, if y'all have questions about anything I said, anything I did, or anything you want to see, by all means, shoot the comments. Hit me up on Facebook, hit me up on Instagram. But last but not least, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. All right. I haven't really been on here like I said I was gonna be on here. I'm gonna try and do better. Um, right now I'm back at work, so working basically a 9 to 6, 9 to 5, however you want to put it. But most of the time, I really want the sun out versus this crappy ass garage light that I got, and give you all what y'all want to see. Right. So again, if you have anything that you want to see or any question that you may have thought about, or hey, why are you doing this way, or what's this, or what's the specs on this, or what's the if I don't know it, I'll simply tell you, hey, I don't know it. Or if it's an opinionated question, I'll tell you my opinion and I tell you why I'm doing it, why I'm doing it, which I kind of went over in my very, very first video, my introduction. But again, I get it for all the new followers. Tune in and it should be fun. All right. Signing out. One.